guys want to hear a story? Story. My grandparents. My grandparents. I can't figure out how to say it. I can't. Her voice was just so. Alright. My grandparents. The voice was thick with an accent unfamiliar, but familiar all the same, in that way that new things in abundance can so seem. They used to sleep like this. His eyes snapped open lazily to break from his momentary fuming. She was a vision in white, the white of the sheets. Her black hair spilled out over her pillow as she lay on her side, facing him. Pink sunburned nose full of freckles peeking out from the mass of white and green trim to her chin. She was smiling, a wry, knowing smile. Something about it got him, right there, right where it counts. Where a moment before he had been lost in his frustration, now the fire faded to a carefully sheltered candle in his soul, burning all the same for her. He had to say something, but what? Don't sound angry, don't sound angry. Suave, suave. Thinking in his new language helped calm his nerves. Her smile was falling slowly. Too late. She turned over onto her back and looked at the ceiling. It's very old-fashioned. The words didn't seem to make sense to him as they came out. Your grandparents, I mean. ¿Cómo? She didn't understand. He knew she wouldn't. No me importa, guapo. He shifted to mirror her position on his bed, to think and stare. Always thinking. He couldn't tell if she was speaking with anger, frustration, or spite. Maybe she was just trying to be cute. He didn't respond, allowing the words to hang in the air and be examined. And then they were gone, with the sea breeze. Like the last puff of incense, the smoke drifted out of the room in swirls, leaving no words and only silence. He wanted her. It was plain. It was clear. There wasn't any fighting it. He wanted her. But as to a how or a why, or all those other stupid things, there wasn't a clue. Maybe it was her eyes. Dark, searching, intensity shielded with the playfulness of a child. He was in love, and he hated it. All these fucking cougars are the same. A toy. It's what he had become, and he knew it. He'd gotten to the point of being sad. Just wanted someone to hold him, someone to be held. He was a puppy lost on a street of gold. But what good was their damn gold to him? It didn't matter. He didn't have any. They knew it. He was just a fucking puppy, for Christ's sake. Puppies don't have gold. Only in their coats. He was a toy. Again. This time, unlike all the others, but smelling of the same potent shit. The one you put aside, not your favorite, not the prettiest doll. The one you liked because it was ugly and dirty and used. But you don't play with that one anymore. Why would you? It's so... I leave for the volcano tomorrow. And here they were again. A qué hora? 7:30. Her words meant nothing. Talking for the sake of talk. It hurt him that it had come to this. But there was nothing for it. Why had the first times been great and now no response, no matter how he tried? He'd stopped trying a little while ago, and he knew why. Her other toy was bigger than him, cleaner, meaner. When a man made of straw to this boy's material, metal, to this boy's metal. You don't get here being made of straw, he thought, of what happens these weeks, these years, this life. He wasn't in the room anymore. She knew it. There wasn't any use. She probably wasn't there either by now. Off drifting with her toys somewhere in outer space. No, space is for beautiful things. And despite her beauty, she didn't deserve space. The waves were starting to lull him into their hypnotic rhythm. What of tomorrow? What of today? He almost glanced at his watch, but thought better of it. What of tomorrow? Nothing. He needed a toy like all the other kids, but it wasn't his way. Plus, he always broke his toys. It's better to be broken than to break. Cracking something innocent sent a queer shiver right through him. And then, after the sadness, the utter sadness until finding a new toy to break, or a new wall to fight. But you don't like me. Her words were like laughter in his head. The beach. What do you mean? I'm here. You're here. I like you. We made it this far. He gestured to their surroundings. The night was a little chilly. She was wearing a jacket, black leather. Him, naught but a pair of scraggly, traveled, weathered shorts. He liked the cold. Made him feel a little more alive. Plus, with the amount of time he'd been drunk today, yesterday, l'autre, he stopped counting, for fear. But he knew what he had done to heal. You don't like me. With a force slightly more indignant. You like that other girl. Other girl from the fire earlier? Yes, the American one. Which American one? He could keep it up all day. She was quite stupid for a psychologist, he thought. But she made for good conversation. Or at least he liked to listen, or at least liked to listen to him talk. He had wooed her in about 10 minutes, and she'd been following him everywhere since. Sure enough, it was a small island, but pretty hard to hide, but still, she was always there staring and waiting. Similarly, he was always there, but 30 feet away talking to another girl. I don't know, but she's prettier than me. Why do you like me? I'm ugly. I like a lot of things. Casually, not answering her questions, was a trick he had learned some time ago, and he'd been using it liberally with Red. That's what they call her, Red. What was her damn name again? He racked his brain for a minute, clearly thinking, pensive. Nothing. Not a clue. He shook his head to clear out the folly of caring. It wasn't important. She was simply another step closer to recovery. Felt good to break things, but only in secret. If they knew he was breaking them, it wouldn't be fun anymore. He smiled, devilish almost, or it felt that way. Creeped half across his face to one side where she could see. What? He hadn't been thinking about her. And when she spoke, it made him jump as if he had forgotten she was even there. She was smiling at him. Not all the time, but sometimes. From across the beach. Another fire alone was how the night started. Then, out of nowhere, they swarmed in. First a few locals for the tight line. Then that asshole fucking gringo. Probably beats his wife. It was one of the first real impressions he got of the guy. They were always bickering. He was always right. She was wrong. He almost wanted to do their marriage a favor and teach her what love really was, or at least what it felt like. Then the newcomers. They arrived on the island the very afternoon, 15 in total. He had heard it from one of their scouts. They worked at the dock and saw all the finest things that came in town, and for sure, there were some fine things about. But then she had come alone, but then followed by others. He had started musing about who she was, if her friends had planned to meet her here or simply run into her. The fire had grown crowded. He was now simply a quiet shadow, surrounded by the jostling of Miami's 15. And they didn't get it. Lucky for him, he didn't have to talk to them. They thought he spoke nothing, only Spanish. It was better not to talk to the gringos. They didn't get it, any of it. This place, nothing. One of their kind had been eyeing him from across the fire, trying to catch his glances. He gave her a few, but most of his looks were for her. She was smiling again, looking down, nervous, excited, then back up, biting her lip in one place softly, and those lips. She couldn't have been older than 27. Good thing he passed as 24 here. Good thing no one cared as long as you had the balls. He had to go talk to her, but what could he say? What if she spoke something different, unable to communicate what to do? He would wait until it looked like she was going to leave, and then he would strike. ¿Dónde eres? She moved, the cute one, across the fire, up to get another beer, and then back to the vacant spot next to him where it always was. Oh, that was those. ¿De dónde eres? She had moved. How dare she take her seat? He was still thinking of the other one. Argentina. No. No way. You're American, I swear. I don't believe it for a minute. No, de Argentina. People from Argentina don't say Argentina like that. Where are you from? She was angry. She wasn't angry. She sounded more intrigued, giggling at him like it was a joke. Boston. Cool, my cousin lives in Boston. It's a cool city. I've been a couple times, but never during the winter. Not really a cold weather girl. Ha 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 ha. Picked a good place to come then. Pardon? Here, la isla. Que rica, no? Sí, yeah. She stared off into the fire, where his eyes had been the whole time. Lighting only on her for a minute when she wasn't looking here or there. It was better to be aloof, he thought. Besides, he hadn't really felt like talking recently. To anyone. Breaking the broken games are only to hurt, and he hurt hard if he wasn't careful. You never think about people as a vase until you drop one carelessly and it shatters at your feet. He had dropped a lot of vases recently. Even thrown a few, trying to put a scratch in that wall. But his blood was the only thing that painted it and stayed. He looked up suddenly, realizing he had been distracted. She was gone. He had missed his chance. And he would never see her again. So what's your name? Leah, not like the princess.